What's good? I got back from Justice League and just did a giant rant that I deleted because it's not what I want my review to be. This movie was great. All the what I thought was good writing in Batman vs Superman has now paid off, and I think that you can't go see Justice League and really get the same experience unless you've seen Batman vs Superman. There's parts of it that I still can't sit through. I did not like Jesse Eisenberg. I think that'll pay off too. Let's start at the beginning. So we start with an interview from these little kids who are asking Superman questions. You can't really tell when it is, but you're assuming that it's in Metropolis after the Superman and Zod fight, and that they're asking him questions, or whatever it might be. And it's super cute, super nice. Then you pan out back to present day. Lois is struggling, Martha's struggling. They both can't really get a grip on it. Batman still has a ton of guilt. Wonder Woman is still kicking ass. You see them have to go out and find these other metahumans that we already saw Lex Luthor searching for, which we wouldn't have got if it wasn't for Batman vs Superman. So Batman goes out, tries to find Aquaman. He finds him, talks to him. Doesn't go so well. Finds the Flash. It goes pretty well. Then he meets up with Diana out in this forest. Victor Stone had followed them, or I guess this is before. Victor Stone is following them, trying to see why he's getting searched for, since he's just figuring out all these powers and realizing that Bruce is searching for him, and he doesn't know why. So he follows Diana. Bruce tells Wonder Woman that, hey, I couldn't get Aquaman to join us. I want you to go find Cyborg. And I'm sure he knew as well. And I'm going to go find Barry Allen. And so Bruce goes, finds him. She's sitting in the Batcave trying to find Victor Stone, and he shuts down the system and starts talking to her. And they meet up face to face. He tells her that this isn't his thing, that he doesn't have any gifts. She tells him about opening up and that he's already doing it, trying to reach out to her, and that it took her years and years and years to do it after Steve's death. Which you also wouldn't understand how tragic and meaningful that is to her. And it pops up a couple times, like 2 or 3 times in the movie, their relationship and how special it was to her. And you wouldn't understand that reference if you didn't see Wonder Woman. So I think that, again, is good writing and good lead-up. So then moving forward, Steppenwolf had already stolen one of the mother boxes from Themyscira, and he goes to steal one of the mother boxes from Atlantis. The third one was somewhere on Earth, just buried underground, which we find out later was found by Silas Stone, and that's what he used to create Cyborg. And so while Aquaman beats the shit out of Steppenwolf underwater, and then he gets kicked one time into a wall, and Steppenwolf leaves with the mother box. We see Mira. We find out they don't know each other yet, but later they're probably going to get married, assumingly. And so it's cool to see that they don't know each other yet. And then she gives him his gear and his trident. So moving forward from there, Aquaman ends up joining them. So we get the bat signal lights up, and it's just Barry, Bruce, and Diana, and they go to the roof to talk to Jim Gordon because 8 people were kidnapped by the parademons in Metropolis. They obviously go to talk to him about it. They're like, we're working on it. He's like, how many of you guys are you? And he's like, not enough, and it's only the 3 of them. Then Cyborg shows up, and he tells him, like, what's going on, and that he can figure everything out, because he can talk to the other mother boxes. So, later he goes, excuse me, so Steppenwolf is trying to bring the boxes together to form unity so he can go back to Apocalypse, is what's teased. He also teases Darkseid for Darkseid, and we'll get into this later with the Lex Luthor arc, but then Cyborg shows up there teaming up. They go to fight Steppenwolf as he's interrogating Silas Stone to try and find the Earth box, and they step in, and Cyborg starts using his powers. Wonder Woman steps in, jumps in, fights, and Barry doesn't want to fight. Bruce tells him save one person. He saves one person. He's like, oh yeah, like you'll love Barry Allen as a character. He's super funny, and I can't wait for the Flash movie. It's gonna be great. Not better than I'm putting him right here. TV show, movie, boom, even. Okay, leave it there. I will decide later when I see the Flash movie. So Barry saves a guy, and he's like, oh shit, that was fun. And he goes and saves more people, and you see the little sword tap from the trailers. And then Steppenwolf ends up just teleporting out of there, I think, because somebody shot into the wall. They were underground, underneath like this little tunnel underneath a dam. So somebody ended up shooting a wall, and the water started flooding in. Steppenwolf was gone at that point, and then Aquaman just comes in and stops the water from flowing in so that they can get up further. And then you see Cyborg just deuce out. He kind of just disappears, and then they get back up top. They're talking to Jim Gordon, and they're like, yeah, he's looking for the mother boxes. We don't know where they are. He stole 2 of them. He's looking for a 3rd one. We need to make sure that we get it. And Cyborg just drops down. He has it because he knows where it was. Silas had it. It was used on him to save him, and he has a connection to it. So he already picked it up, and then they take it down into the Batcave, and Batman proposes they bring Superman back to life in the chamber where Doomsday was brought back to life. And so they use Flash's electric charge to charge the box as it hits the water. Superman comes back to life. They have a brief little fight where it's Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Cyborg, where Cyborg can't control the machine part of him and sees Superman as a threat because he's Kryptonian and starts firing at him. Superman gets really pissed off, kicks the shit out of everybody else, but then Bruce brings out Lois Lane. He had Alfred bring her so that he calms down. They go out to the farm. Lois talks to him. He's totally fine again, and he ends up going out and saving the day. Obviously, everybody else shows up. Bruce was looking at this sound he heard that attracted the Parademon when he first initially... The beginning opening scene is where Bruce stops a criminal, and he knows the Parademons sense fear, and that's what they feed off of. And so he gets the criminal. He looks at the little wrist thing, I think, sees that there's movement down below, hangs the guy over the edge, and he's like, what do you want from me? I just want your fear. The Parademon flies up. Bruce launches it, traps it to a wall, it blows up. And that's the suicidal tensions of Parademons, because they don't want to get caught and interrogated. They'd rather just kill themselves, because that's what Darkseid would want. That's what Steppenwolf would want, is they don't want their secrets out. They just want it straight up as is. But anyways, Bruce was using a siren or something he had heard from that encounter to scare the Parademon. He used it later on when he was driving out through the nuclear plant. He was blaring that siren, and all the Parademons ran towards him. Obviously, Wonder Woman and the rest of them come and save him rather than falling through the plan. Wonder Woman is the first one to engage Steppenwolf in the final fight. She's doing pretty well. She and Aquaman become like a distraction for a little while Cyborg's trying to connect with the Mother Box to split it apart. Batman's also fighting Parademons with this blaster that the Parademons were using. using their own weapons against him. Everything's looking good for a while. Then Steppenwolf knocks Aquaman and Wonder Woman both out for a second, goes up to Cyborg and pulls him off. And that's when Superman shows up, starts taking him out. He had Barry actually run out to go save civilians, and Superman gets there, and he says, yes, Cyborg needs to work. We need to buy him some time from Steppenwolf. And he's like, there's civilians. He's like, yeah, I had Barry handle it. And Superman goes, it's not enough. He just shoots off and flies away. And you're like, oh shit, what the fuck? Like, I thought he was back. He was beating the shit out of Steppenwolf, but then now is nowhere to be seen because he flies off to go save civilians. He catches up to Flash, which is strange, but I don't think Flash was running at full speed anyways. They tease at the end of the credit scene, they tease the fastest man alive kind of thing, and basically he catches up to Flash. They're running side by side. He's like, oh, hey. He's like, you get the ones on the left, I'll get the ones on the right. So Flash pushes this family that has been trapped the entire movie, basically, from the parademons outside their house. He takes their car and pushes it outside of the zone or whatever so that they're safe. And Superman, and then he looks over and Superman's carrying an entire building full of people. And you're like, oh, he just feels one up. And he's like, okay, good job. And he says, like, he's like, be safe or something in like another language, and runs off again. And you're like, how does he know that? So I'm sure there's going to be more to the story later on. It's also going to be exciting to see because he visited his dad in prison. He's going to be a CSI. They're definitely going down that Eobard Thawne route. We know that because his dad was in prison from the trailers, but it's going to be cool. Back to the fight scene. Superman and Flash come back. Well, Superman Ooh, I didn't even think about this. Superman got back first. I'm pretty sure they both left to go back at the same time. Superman got back and started fighting him. Wow. Superman might have been faster in the movie. I did not. So here's what happens, basically, is they both took the civilians back. Then we see Barry run back, assumingly Superman's flying back as well. Superman gets back when all hope is looking lost. Beats the crap out of... Well, I guess not all hope is looking lost. Steppenwolf is like on top of a roof because Aquaman had punched him up there or something. And he's just sitting up there. And Superman is like, oh, this guy's still bothering you? Just slams him into the ground from the top of the roof all the way down. And he's just like standing over him, and he's just punching him, boom, boom, boom. And he's like just knocked out basically at that point. And then he like picks him up, throws him, and Diana and Aquaman take care of him. He flies up to Cyborg and he goes, what do you need? And he's like, there's going to be a split second where we can start pulling these apart. There's still going to be a blast, but I think we can handle it. And you're like, oh man, Superman's not going to die again, right? And so they pull the Unity apart. There's an explosion. They're the only ones seemingly effective. It's the way that Cyborg was saying it earlier made it sound like it was going to be like 10 times of a nuclear bomb, and for like a 5-mile radius, you needed to be out of that. So they split it apart. There's an explosion. Everybody gets knocked back. Superman and Cyborg just fly apart from each other, and they're just laying there, and you're like, oh shit. But Superman this is where I'm getting to, the Flash thing, is Superman has already been back fighting Steppenwolf and splitting that apart. Then Flash shows up, and he's like, you guys want to see what's going on out there? Because there's like flowers probably sprouting already, which Flash had seen, but he was not back yet to the nuclear power plant. He was still out. Maybe he's getting more civilians. They didn't say that. They just showed him running back, which made it really, really, really look like he was not there faster. And that Superman had already made it back, been fighting Steppenwolf for a couple seconds, then pulled the things apart. And that's like a whole minute faster, and they didn't really go that far. So in the movie Justice League, Superman could have been faster than Flash. I'll do another video on that because that's really interesting. So from there, they split it apart. Steppenwolf goes, "Oh, I can't believe you did this. This is my whatever right to this planet," and everybody's just staring him down. He's like, "No, what's going on?" And he tries to fight back again. He goes at Diana. She gives him a little cut through the ribs, I guess. I don't really know. Under his stomach, I guess. She slices him there real fast, and then he like goes to swing his axe, and Superman freezes it, and so it's like made of fire. He froze it, and Diana just slices through it. His axe breaks, and he's like freaking out, and obviously he's afraid. The parademons attack him, and he gets sent back through a boom tube. And we don't see who's ever running the boom tubes, and it's obviously not Steppenwolf himself. It could be Darkseid or somebody over on Apokolips, most likely not Darkseid himself, but that's definitely a tease to there's more out there. And then after that, Bruce buys a bank to get Clark's house back because it was foreclosed. His mom wasn't paying or whatever. The house was foreclosed, and so Bruce buys a bank and gives Clark the house back. Everybody's a happy ending. Diana steps out into the light and is saving people, using her lasso to interrogate people that are criminals, and they're spilling every secret and what crimes they've committed. There's probably an Easter egg in there that I missed that I'll look for again when I go back. There's so much. They go into Wayne Manor that was abandoned, that you see in Batman vs Superman that had been abandoned, and they go in there and there's a table. Bruce is saying there needs to be a table with 6, but Diana says, "But room for more." And Bruce says, "Yep, room for more," which shows you there's gonna be more, and that the Hall of Justice and where the Justice League headquarters is gonna be is Wayne Manor, which is totally different from everything else. They don't have like the Watchtower, at least not yet. I'm sure we'll get a version of the Watchtower, but it's not even like the Hall of Justice, which is really weird. They're just doing it in Wayne Manor. They might repurpose it and make it like the Hall of Justice, but right now it's just Wayne Manor, and that's where they're going to operate out of. And then the end credit scene, the mid-credit scene is the Flash vs Superman thing. They do the race, fastest man alive. That super cool teaser. I'm pretty sure, I don't know. I'm going to do another video because I feel like Superman might have been faster. And then the end credit scene, which unfortunately I did not even watch. I just assumed they weren't going to copy Marvel, and so I left. But the end credit scene is Lex Luthor and Deathstroke, Joe Manganiello, and Jesse Eisenberg, and they're together on a yacht. Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor character had escaped from prison, which is why I think this is going to be more of the payoff. He looked super dumb. And there's like the drunken Shaolin style, where you look like an idiot, but you're really not doing that. You're doing things on purpose. I think that's what they're doing with the character, is that he's looking really stupid and really goofy in Batman vs Superman. And the next version of Jesse Eisenberg, I haven't seen the clip, but I'm assuming the next version of him is just going to be totally maniacal and fucked up and like super serious, intense instead of the jokes. At least that's what, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going again to watch it soon. So I'm hoping that's what it is and that it's a payoff. But they're already forming like the Injustice League or whatever you want to call it. Like we saw the Legion of Doom on Legends of Tomorrow. It's like that version, that evil version of superheroes. There's all the supervillains combined together, since I think Lex is smart enough to know what was going to happen with Steppenwolf. Batman picked up the boxes on the wall and knew enough from the Wonder Woman movie that there's mother boxes, and Batman vs Superman that there was a mother box used to create Cyborg. That if Bruce Wayne and Batman is smart enough to pick up on that just thing on the wall, and he wants to know, Aquaman already knew about it, and Lex had been studying both Aquaman and Wonder Woman, probably knew about both the boxes and all the background behind it. He probably knew with the painting and all the metaphorical speeches that something was coming. Not just Darkseid, but he probably knew Steppenwolf was coming and that he would have to assemble a team to fight that, and then that team would be demolished or destroyed or whatever way, and he'd be able to take them out with his team. So that's kind of, he's set this up in a way. Not even Bruce. Bruce didn't form the Justice League. Lex Luthor did. On purpose or on accident? I'm assuming on purpose. And that's going to be the big payoff, is Lex is going to be able to go up to Bruce Wayne and Batman and be like, I formed the Justice League. I'm the one who set you guys up. I didn't see Superman coming back, but I set you, all these giant warriors, together, assuming you wouldn't need him. Now that he's back, that probably is a wrench in his plan, but he's going to have all these other heavy hitters, because that's all DC is heavy hitters, on his Injustice Squad. He has Deathstroke to go against Batman already, but he can pick up Black Adam, The Rock, he can pick up Sinestro, he can pick up whoever he wants evil-wise to form that alliance and take them out. Because there are more bad guys than heroes, I think, because every hero has so many villains. But I feel like they're going to be doing bigger things with Jesse Eisenberg, assuming that cutscene goes how I think it will. Anyways, this is 20 minutes long. I'm going to leave it at that. That's everything I have for Justice League. I'm going to go watch it again. Have a good day. Peace out.